Hi, my name is David Corti, and I would like to share with you my work, which won a prize at the Sounders FC Data Analysis Competition. It's titled "Corner Kicks Can Be Mysterious, but Some Are Decodable." So, have a quick look at this corner kick. He raises his left hand before taking it. Were you able to guess where he targets with his corner kick, as in the location of the pitch he targeted with his corner kick, and what he was trying to communicate with his teammates? There's meaning to this, right? So that's what I'll be trying to decipher in this presentation. Now, to understand corner kick hand signals, I define it to be a non-verbal way corner kick takers communicate with teammates on the receiving end of their corner kicks. But crucially, it's an additional information teams could use in defending corner kicks to minimize the chances of conceding. So all this got me thinking, what hand signals do teams like Man City use, and how do they use them? And two, from a defensive perspective, how can clubs like Sounders FC potentially use that understanding to their advantage in defending? So as a case study, I'll be using Manchester City, and they make a good example because in the 2018-2019 EPL season, they had they won the highest number of corners per game, and this is mainly because of their possessive style of play, where they take a lot of shots, they like to hold the ball, and defending teams will likely concede a lot of corners from those shots by through blocks and tackles close to the penalty box. So they make a very good team to use for this case study. Overall, they win roughly 8 of these corners per game. Also, you realize that Manchester City really like to take a lot of direct corner kicks. So most of their corner kicks will be straight from the corner kick flag into the box. So it's very important to get a very good understanding of what they intend to do with each specific hand signal, trying to fit all that understanding into a defensive strategy to deal with their corner kick. So any team facing them will need to strategize around how they defend the inevitable corners they'll concede. So to tackle this problem, thanks to Opta, I got data on Manchester City. I also got videos of all Manchester City's corner kicks from the internet. But one thing was lacking. It did not have the hand signals. I did not have data on the hand signals Manchester City used. Right. So what I did was to collect hand signals data on Manchester City's 366 corner kicks, either they of which they either won or conceded across the entire 2018-2019 EPL season. Whilst layering this hand signal data on the existing data I have on the specific corner kicks they take, right? So this broadens the breadth of data I have, in the sense that I will now have an idea of who takes the corner kick from which side of the pitch, when, against whom, right? And now crucially, the hand signal the player using taking that corner kick before taking that corner kick for Man City. And I find that these four players account for 76% of Man City's corners, right? So these probably they are very important corner kick takers for Manchester City, who I define as the big. And I also find that they mainly use their right hand, right? They raise their right hand, or they raise both hands, or they raise none at all before taking their corner kicks. So these are their main hand signals. To get a Now let's dive a bit deeper into the hand signals they use. So looking at Gundogan's hand signal profile, you realize when none of his hands are raised, he likes to go short or takes a long corner kick. But if he raises, once he raises either his right hand or both hands, he likes to take a long corner kick. KDB also has a very similar profile in that he normally likes to take a short corner kick when none of his hands are raised. But once he either raises his right or both hands, he goes long. And it's the same for Mahrez. He likes to go short when none is raised. And so for Leroy Sané. Now this begs the questions: are long corners targeted at specific areas, right? At the same area or at different areas? And I find that when you look on the left hand side, right, from when City takes corner kicks from the left hand side, normally they like to target the near post with their long corner kicks, right? But on the right hand side, they like to target the penalty box area with their long corner. Then coming to their short corner kicks, we realize they normally like to go short when they don't raise any hands at all. So it's important to get a very good understanding of the what drives their decision to go short when they do not raise their hands, right? And I realized that they normally have a player very close to the corner kick taker to provide short corner kick support, right? So that happens 93% of the time. 93% of the time, they are taking a corner kick where they do not raise their hand. There's a player, most of the time, there's a player very close by, ready to provide that to be a receiving end of the short corner. And as an example, this is a very good example of that. They take their corner very quickly. The short corner kick receiver gets it quickly, right? Now he has ample space to do whatever he wants with the ball on the flank. Another important realization was that is the player who is providing short corner kick support is really important, because that player determines if they'll go short, as in if they'll take a short corner or they'll take a long corner kick. And quickly, the importance of players like KDB, Kawaka, Gundogan, Bernardino becomes really clear, because more than anything, their presence is indicative of the fact that there's a possibility they will be taking a short corner kick. But for players like Leroy Sané, he normally also provides short corner kick support, but he's more often a decoy, in the sense that his presence may indicate the possibility that they'll go short, but more often than not, they take a long corner kick. So the advantage of that is that his presence normally draws the opposition's defenders, right? Assumingly one more player will try um, man marking him. And that means in the penalty box, the defending team will have one less player trying to defend the corner kick, and that's something City might try to exploit. But it also means that defending teams will more often than not likely have a strategy in place to deal with this. They'll have this in mind. So this is a very good example of a short corner kick by Man City. They quickly take it very quickly and they miss the chance, right? This is a very good example of it. They take it very quickly to the receiver. He gives it to a player free in the box. This time it's Sterling, but Wolves are able to press and win the ball. So the short corner kick is something which is also very important to Man City's. So as part of the my submission for the competition, I had some recommendations for Seattle Sounders coach Brian Schmetzer, and this for in an entirely different world where his team were to play against Man City in the Club World Cup, in a world without COVID. For him as a coach, he'll be interested in answering the question how he structures his defense versus Man City's corners. And to have a go at this, I use an example from Seattle's game against Toronto FC. Now, for Seattle, they normally like to combine the zonal and man marking system in defending their corners. So, with this example, I'm using Toronto FC because they like to set up their offensive corners in a very similar setup to Man City's, where Toronto provides a player providing short corner support, right? And so that this makes it a very good game to use as a basis of making recommendations. So assuming Man City were taking this corner right from the right hand side and they happen to raise their right hand, since Sounders like to mark the near post zonally, they'll be covered because normally Man City likes to target the near posts when they raise their right hand from the right side. Now, in a case where Man City were to take the corner from the right hand side, but this time the taker rolls both hands, it means you'll be targeting the penalty box. So what Sounders can do is to shift one of their defending players to join their players who happen to be man marking close to the penalty area, right? Because that's where Man City will be targeting. This way, it gives them Sounders a numerical advantage, but the limitation is that it prevents Sounders from making a counter attack in case the ball were to become loose or anything of that sort. So you realize very quickly that they'll be able to make very small adjustments to their structure they already make, right? Once a signal is made, they just make very small adjustments quickly to respond to that signal and increase their chances of being able to defend that corner. Okay, yeah, so that's all I have for you, and thanks for listening.